I began writing the women's primer many years ago. It started with the title Beginning Again because women live fragmented lives. As I began to write, I began to think of attributes of women's lives. There were positives and negatives, but I left the negatives out. There's enough of it in here. But I tried to concentrate on the positives of life. So I will read you the introduction to the book. Women are amazing. Our lives intersect throughout every phase of time's passage, birth to death, and all the living in between. Our first day at school, best friends in adolescence, the first kiss, the thrill of falling in love, marriage, children, careers, divorce, illness, and the final end game, when we might wonder if we did justice to the life granted us. Life is lived in women's wisdom, in women's talk and women's sharing. We do better with one another. We have difficulty without each other. Often we share intimacies of our lives with a trusted friend. Sometimes a passing stranger will offer lifelong advice. Sometimes a close friend will proffer a hand without being asked. And sometimes it's just about giggles, the sheer pleasure of each other's company. So without a prior plan, this book evolved, fell out of my hands. A primer for women, an ABC of women's attributes, powers, feelings, emotions, and thoughts. There is much to write, and I offer stories, fragments of my life, as a measure of the way in which I lived. Sometimes with careful planning, and sometimes wherever the wind, rain, and sun and warmth invited me, wherever random chance found me. I lived at times with daring and always with amazing discovery for the small and the large, for the seemingly unimportant and the important markers of life, from birth to death. So it is with women, most women. We begin to fathom love's importance with the touch of a mother's hand from babyhood on. I had touch much longer than most. I had my mother's touch well into my adulthood. She was deaf. I had it even in the days when she was hobbled by a stroke and confined to a nursing home bed. I'd pick up a hand and stroke my face with it, and she'd smile a crooked smile. And when she lay dead, I lifted her hand to my face once more to feel her. She was my mother, and I am mother to my children and grandmother to my grandchildren. The root source of my life as a woman was my mother. She was and continues to be the source of daily renewal. That's the excerpt, but there are pieces in that book talk about things that we don't talk about. Daring, bravery, the art of listening, kindness, safety for women, trust for women, and the zest for life. And that's it.